Yes, it is time for our latest animal adoption journey with Saving Grace. Molly is back, and she brought along a very handsome guy. This is Friar. Friar's making himself at home.
Friar's wonderful. Love him.
Well, we love you. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Tell us, Friar sees himself, I think, oh, in the camera there. He's smart. We know that already. What's his story?
He is very smart. So Friar came to us. He was a stray. We don't have a whole lot about his past, but he's been with us several months at Saving Grace, and he's really great. He's a favorite on the hiking program, favorite on the sleepover program. He's just a really nice boy.
He's so sweet. In the lobby, people were leaving, and automatically they just gravitated right to him.
Yes.
He was so excited.
He was excited to welcome everybody in today and see everybody out while we waited.
That's the kind of dog we need, and that's the kind of dog a lot of people are looking for. You know, Molly, you have so many dogs. I was going through video, actually, of some of our first times out at the farm and just seeing all the different varieties and how cute, and the big and small and all different things. How do we find the right one that fits our family?
So we encourage everybody to come out to Saving Grace and have an open mind about what you're looking for, what your daily routine is. If you're more active and you're out and about, so you want a dog that's, you know, really great in situations like Friar, who's just kind of like, okay, I've never been to a studio before, but this is great. Or if you want a dog that's more relaxed, if you work a lot, you want a dog that stays home and is okay being alone and, you know, without as much interaction as some other dogs. So it's really important just to have those characteristics in mind and come out, visit, see who fits with you.
And talk to you and your team of volunteers, because you're with these dogs 24/7.
Yes.
You know their personalities.
We do, and a lot of the time, the ones, you know, who've been on sleepovers, we know a little bit more about them, or foster. So if you're not ready to adopt, that's always a really great thing we encourage, because it helps us know the dogs a little better so that we can match them with a really good long-term situation.
I also think that's such a great way to see if the dog, like Friar, is going to be a good fit for you. What would you say to somebody who comes into the farm with a perception of a certain maybe breed or a certain look of dog?
Yeah, definitely look for the dog that you are looking for. Look for its personality. You know, especially with our bully breeds like Friar, some people get a little intimidated by that because, you know, they haven't always had the best reputation, but, you know, each dog is really different as an individual, just like people. So knowing what you're looking for in a personality and a temperament is a lot more important than the look, you know.
And the perceptions of what people say a certain dog acts like or looks like or does.
They do, and the different breeds absolutely have their characteristics.
Sure.
So we don't dismiss that. They do have their characteristics, but each dog is very much an individual.
But that's where you and your team, because you are so knowledgeable about this. I don't think we ever go into just how much you know and how much you help people out. No, you do an amazing job.
We try.
And somebody told me just the other day, we were out at something, and Molly just has this gift of finding the right dog for the right people. She said she's watched people go in there and say, I think I want that dog. And you say, let's try this one. And then it ended up being a perfect match.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people might be a little hesitant about a shelter dog too, because we don't always know a lot about their past. So that includes a little bit more of a risk going to any shelter, but we really try to get to know them and know all about them so that we can make a really good match for the dog and the person.
Well, and not only that, you make sure that they come with all their shots, they're fixed, they're ready to go, so you know a little bit about at least their recent vet history.
Right, so they may not have had any sort of veterinary care before coming to us, and we do, you know, rely on donations and to help provide all of that care, but once they leave, they're pretty set to go.
And it's an amazing process, I think, that you can actually try them out. How does that work?
So we have a weekend sleepover program that's every weekend. So you pick up your dog on Friday night, bring them back either Sunday evening or Monday morning. And you don't always get the dog that you request. You can certainly request a dog, but if that dog's been adopted, or maybe it's in the adoption process, or maybe it's not a great match for you. You know, if you have a cat and we have a dog that we know doesn't like cats, then we try to make a match that we know is going to be safe and a good match for the home. So you get that dog, you get to spend the weekend with them.
And you provide all the food and everything.
We provide everything you need, and you can then pursue adoption if you want. You know, some people do that several times just to see a dog that really fits for them. And then some people just do it every weekend and don't ever plan to adopt, which again is absolutely fine, because it really helps us get some information about that dog and pass that on to potential adopters.
Or you don't have any plans to adopt, or like our Bill Young, ends up having a foster fail.
Yeah, sometimes we have, you know, a sleepover that never goes home, which is okay too.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, or which never comes back, I should say. Yeah, which never comes back, and that's okay too.
That's a success story because it just makes their life so much happier, and it opens up another space for another dog.
For a shelter dog waiting. That's very true. Every dog that gets adopted from Saving Grace, we have a dog who's in a shelter who's otherwise not going to get a chance for adoption. So you help 2 dogs.
So many great things that you do each and every day. Molly, where can we find you and where can we find more information?
SavingGraceNC.org is the website. It has all of our upcoming events. We have our open house coming up September 1st. So you can find out everything to do there and how to get involved.
And there's always something going on, hiking, all the things. We appreciate you. Friar was such a handsome boy in all the shots you saw, and he needs a new home. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Michael & Son. We'll be right back.
The preceding was sponsored by